Hey guys, so I'm in Dallas right now. This is where the ICE shooting happened, where the guy started shooting at the ICE facility. We got a ton of new information from the FBI today. I just want to show you first, though, this roof up there, that is where the shooter was. He climbed up, and behind me back here is the ICE facility. So he was able to get up there on the 4th floor and shoot across the street into the ICE facility. We learned this morning that he was seen a couple of hours before the shooting driving in the area with a ladder. He somehow used a ladder to get up on the roof. There was a lot of planning that was involved. According to the FBI, he had been researching ICE locations. He had an app apparently where you can trace where ICE officers are. He left a note saying that he acted alone, that he essentially thought ICE agents were terrorists. And he apparently just shot indiscriminately at the entire side of the building. The intention, according to the FBI, was to kill ICE agents, but as we know, he ended up hitting migrants, the detainees. One was killed, 2 were injured, and according to the FBI, both ICE agents who were on the scene and ATF agents went into the gunfire, into some of these vans to try and save some of the detainees who were, it seems, like handcuffed and shackled in the van. So they weren't able to get out of the way of the gunfire. So that's the latest from Dallas.
So guys, in a chilling attack that happened this last week Wednesday morning at the US Immigration and Custom Enforcement Facility in Dallas, a sniper known as Joshua Juan opened fire from a rooftop targeting the transport van and the facility at large. It ended up shooting 3 persons, which were detainees. 1 was dead and 2 other detainees were critically wounded. So guys, before we dive in straight into the video, if today is your first time of coming across our channel, do well to subscribe to our channel and tell us what you think about this video in the comment section. Please do ensure to like and share the video to help the channel out. You're welcome.
Okay, you guys, breaking news. 3 detainees were pew-pewed at an ICE facility in Dallas this morning, according to the Department of Homeland Security in a statement. 2 people have been confirmed unalive, and the 3rd is in critical condition, according to DHS. No ICE officers were hurt in this shooting. Praise the Lord. Dallas police said in a news conference that the victims' identities will not be released at this time. 1 bullet found near the perpetrator was determined to be a self-inflicted GUN wound. There were messages found near the perpetrator that were anti-ICE in nature. Special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI, Joe Rockworth, said in a news conference that this attack was an act of targeted violence. The perpetrator fired multiple rounds from a nearby roof or elevated position into the field office's Sally Port, an ICE spokesperson confirmed. The motive for this event has not been determined. We can use our own assessment. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this. I don't think some of these attacks are radical leftists acting alone. I mean, this seems pretty orchestrated to me. I think it's deep state. You know, this is my opinion. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think this is deep state. I think a lot of the stuff that's going on is intentional, and there are forces behind it, pulling the strings, pulling the puppet strings, if you will, you know. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you just crazy radical leftists, you know, just doing violence? You guys let me know.
Good morning. Okay, so this morning there was a shooting in Dallas at an ICE detention center. And someone wrote on the bullets, anti-ICE. But what they did was they killed one of the detainees. So what exactly did that accomplish? I don't understand. He shot a person that he was trying to save from ICE. If someone can explain that to me, that would be fantastic. Because I don't think certain people really think about what they're doing, their consequences. I mean, he killed the person that he was trying to save. And then he killed himself, or she. I don't know. So, if someone could explain it to me, I would greatly appreciate it. and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday.
I tracked down 3 friends of the deceased shooter who had known him since childhood and asked them straightforwardly, what were his politics, what were his views? And their answer was basically that he had libertarian leanings, but he was generally apolitical. And that was something that was corroborated by his own brother, who gave an interview saying, this guy wasn't political. I'd never heard him say anything about ICE prior to this. And one of the most surprising aspects of this investigation for me was talking to his former friends, and I kept running into the same issue, which was that, oh, you know, I'd fallen out of touch with him and didn't have recent insight into what his views were. I kept hearing this, and by the 3rd time I hear it, the person says, oh, you know what happened? Probably no one knew him recently other than maybe his immediate family, because he started spending huge amounts of time on the anonymous chat forum called 4chan, and just playing video games. So apparently he dropped out of school, kind of became a recluse, lost all social contact, immersed himself in this world of, just to describe 4chan, provocation and trolling, and you know, people would describe it as sort of controversial site. And then there ends up being the shooting, and I ask his friends about it. Okay, he has written on, you know, these unused bullets, anti-ICE, clearly it's anti-ICE, right? And his friends say, I wouldn't interpret it that way. He was never a sincere guy. Everything he said was laced with irony and sarcasm. He was a very sardonic person. So they were all skeptical of the idea that this was anything but some practical joke. They said that, you know, because of his libertarian leanings, he didn't like the government, and that apparently, according to investigators, was one of the conclusions they came to based on what they've been able to go over that he left behind. But that wasn't specific to the right or the left. That was a general disdain for government, and a disdain that he seemed to have for all sorts of things in life.
There was a shooting this morning at an ICE facility in Dallas, and despite the fact that the administration immediately came out condemning violence against ICE agents weren't the ones shot. They were detainees by ICE that were shot. And that complete lack of acknowledgement reminds me of a comment I got on here sometime recently. I can't find it, but it pretty much said that it's insane to compare undocumented immigrants who crossed into this country illegally, losing their lives, to a man who lost his life simply for exercising his First Amendment right. And to me, that says the quiet part out loud, which is that many of you genuinely think that these people's lives are worth less than yours. If you genuinely believe so many of the things I have seen y'all saying on here in the last few weeks about being against gun violence, about how no one deserves to be shot and killed, then I sure as hell hope you get on here and condemn violence when it happens to those detained by ICE.
Just getting new information here from officials on the ground. Dallas police say 4 people were shot in total and 2 are dead. That includes the shooter. Officials just gave an update saying that they are investigating the shooting as an act of targeted violence.
Today at approximately 6:40 a.m., we received a assist the officer call. We responded to the call, got to the scene, and we later learned that we had 4 individuals that were shot, 2 of them deceased, including the shooter. The DPD was able to locate the shooter who was deceased. We're going to be working this investigation shoulder to shoulder with our federal partners. The FBI is on scene, and right now I'm going to introduce you to the SAC of the Dallas Field Division, FBI Joe Rumrock.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Joe Rothrock. I'm the special agent in charge of the Dallas FBI field office. I want to first start by thanking our partners in local law enforcement, specifically the Dallas Police Department, for their quick and timely response. I can confirm at this time that the FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence, to include here in North Texas, where back on July 4th, we saw a coordinated attack carried out against an immigration detention center in Alvarado, Texas. What I can also share with you is that early evidence that we've seen from rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature. Again, this is just the most recent example of this type of attack. This will be a whole of government response. There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable. While we're not releasing identities of any victims at this time, what I can confirm for you is no members of law enforcement were hurt during this attack. If any member of the public has information that would help the FBI's investigation, I would ask that you please report that to 1-800-CALL-FBI. Again, any piece of information will be helpful, but this will be an ongoing investigation between us, a number of federal partners, and our...
The shooter used the ICE tracking apps. Anyone who creates or distributes these apps that is designed to spot, track, and locate ICE officers are well aware of the dangers that they are exposing to law enforcement. It's a casting call to invite bad actors to attack law enforcement officers. It's no different than giving a hitman the location of their intended target, and this is exactly what we saw happen in Dallas yesterday. The media has been amplifying these apps even as we warned them it would only lead to more attacks on law enforcement. We truly wish we didn't have to say, "I told you so," but here we are. ICE continues to prioritize the safety and security of our personnel, detained aliens, and facilities. We will do everything possible to increase security to counter the increased wave of these lethal attacks.
You were searching for apps, looking to track ICE agents and their family, and to get a track on Kash Patel. This is updated information of what's coming out of Dallas, Texas, of how sick this shooter really was. Joshua John, the kid that opened up fire in Dallas at the ICE facility, was meaning to create so much more terror than what he actually got away with. He was looking to track ICE agents. He was looking to track FBI intel. He was looking to create so much terror on such a much larger scale that, thank God, he's not with us anymore, as he turned the weapon on himself and took his own life. But my question for all of you is, how many more Johns are out there? How many more people are out there that have been compromised and radicalized and plan on creating more chaos at a much larger scale? He was planning on hunting down Kash Patel. He was planning to get the list of many ICE agents, of where they are, where they're from, who their families are at. Do whatever he's got to do to disrupt the agents and their families by hunting them down and possibly taking their lives. They found him studying and researching the man that took the life of Charlie Kirk, of how he can do it better without getting caught, and watch the tracking positions of all the ICE agents, FBI and CIA agents that attended that Charlie Kirk rally. We told you this was going to happen. We told you that they are here, whether from outside the country or radicalized within. This has been 4 years in the making, to disrupt and destroy each one of our daily lives. They have one ambition and one ambition only, is to take the lives of good, innocent people here in the United States of America. Understand this, that our president is working overtime. Understand that our FBI, CIA agents, and Homeland Security are doing everything they can to stay one step ahead and keep all of us safe. I only ask one thing from all of you, is to stay smart, is to stay vigilant, and always be aware of your surroundings. If you see something, say something. Our local police need our help more than they ever did before. They truly can't do it alone, and they are depending on all of us to do our part. Be smart out there. Keep your family safe. We are praying for all of you. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless our President Donald J. Trump. And God bless the United States of America.
Yo guys, thank you for watching the video. So according to the investigators, they say that the share recovered at the scene where this incident happened, where the sniper was and fired the shot at the ICE facilities, that the share recovered at that scene was written anti-ICE, because the gunman later turned the weapon on himself and ended his life in a self-inflicted wound. The ICE department has confirmed that no ICE agent was harmed or hurt in any way that it was just the detainees that were wounded, two that was critically wounded, and one that was dead. So guys, tell us what you think about this particular video in the comment section. What you think about this polarized violence that is going against the ICE department, against the agency, and what is happening in the country at large. Please do ensure to follow our channel if this is your first time of coming across our video, so that more video about what is happening in our country will pop up your screen. And please do like to share and like the video to help the channel out. You're welcome.